Hey, it's Cody. This is my shit I'm going to be working with in April video. Basically, if you haven't seen me do these, I'm just showing books and decks that I'm working with for the month of April. And I always add some fiction books in with the witchcrafty and tarot kind of books. So, sorry you're going to have to endure that. Alright, so we'll just hop right in. Finding the Fool by Meg Jones Wall of 3am Tarot. Now, this is one that I have been working with partway through February and all through March. So, this book is basically tarot meanings, but it's not specifically focused on any specific deck. So you're not gonna find any like references to, say, Rider-Waite-Smith imagery in here. It's just, a very overall, it's pretty broad. But I do think this is an excellent resource for new tarot readers. Because honestly, Waite-Smith is ugly. People don't want to start with that. Especially now that there's just so many more aesthetically pleasing decks out there available. People want to start with something cooler, So this is the perfect sort of book for that. I like how it's set up. There's a lot of things that I love about this book. I have been sort of reading through some of it. It's kind of hard to literally just sit down and read because it's just card meanings, So what I've been doing is whenever I'm, doing a reading or maybe even like a daily poll sort of thing, I just go ahead and look it up in here. And I feel like this would be such a good, solid, firm foundation for a long-term tarot practice. So I will be probably at some point this month doing a full review of this book. I will still be working with it up until that point, but I did want to mention that I've been working on this. Here is a fictional sort of fantasy book that I finished. This is The Inheritance of, I believe it's Orchidea Divina, but I could be completely fucking wrong. I really like this book. It was fantastic. It was beautiful. I want to be the old lady in the magical house. So, yeah, love this. Was disappointed by this. I guess let's go this guy up a little bit. This is The Foxglove King by Hannah Witten. This is the same author of For the Wolf and For the Woods. Or no. For the Crown? For the Throne? Fuck, I don't remember what the second one was. I was pretty excited for this one because her first book, For the Wolf, okay, all of these are more romancy than really I want, but I felt like the story around it was good. And then the second one in that little duology was so much better than the first. I was like, damn, like, I can't even imagine the growth that's gonna come, from a third book. It's not the same characters. It's all new stuff. And I was actually pretty disappointed in this. It was just very surface level, love triangle, and that's not my shit. When I was a teenager, it was my shit. It's not my shit anymore. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people that love it, but it read a lot more young adult to me than adult, even though it's considered adult. Not that there's anything wrong with young adult, but like, when I go into reading a young adult book, there are just things that I know to expect or to not expect, and when I was expecting this to be adult, I found it disappointing. Alright, so where's the other? Okay. This is a book that I am currently about halfway through. This is The Flowering Wand by Sophie Strand. It's Rewilding the Sacred Masculine. I mentioned this in another video, I don't remember, but I am really digging this book. I wouldn't say that it's like equivalent necessarily to Women Who Run with the Wolves, but it's in a similar sort of space. A lot of information in here about Dionysus, about like the masculine in older myths, and how sometimes they've been reinterpreted more recently with less than positive traits for the masculine. And this goes over everything from like King Arthur shit. We talk about Tom Bombadil in here. There's a Shakespeare play, and it's just talking sort of it's not like, I don't know how to explain it. There's not like a hard line between, you know, those people who are all crazy about fucking divine feminine submitting to divine masculine, all that weird like fucking binary shit. It's really not like that. It's almost a reclamation of masculinity as something much more positive than it's become, and a much more nuanced, flexible sort of just idea of it and approach. And I'm really liking this. The chapters are small. I mean, they're only, okay, here, grow back your horns, the devil card is Dionysus. And we've got, oops, that's it. It goes on to the next one. So each of them are almost little bites of information that I had been just whipping through this book. And I was like, no, you know what? I need to like slow down and think about each of these things. So yeah, that's why I'm only halfway through it, even though I was about a third of the way through it the last time I showed it. I've decided to just chill a little bit on it because it's so easy, I think, to just devour in one sitting. But it's not giving me the time to really process each of the things, so I'm chilling on that. I'm absolutely loving what I'm reading so far. I mean, obviously, my opinion could change. I could run into some stupid-ass bullshit later in the book and hate it, but in that case, I'll let you guys know. I will probably do a book review on this, too, so get that out of the way. Okay, I got 2 more fictions. This one I'm reading right now. This is Threadneedle by Carrie Thomas. You don't know. I'm over halfway. I do this weird thing where sometimes I like the beginning of stories, but then once the adventure actually starts, I like it less. I don't know what it is about it. Do I like the potential at the beginning? Or like, I don't know, man. I was more worried about like this girl being controlled by her mean, terrible aunt who won't let her use magic. Than I was by her, like, suddenly going to school and, like, making friends and shit. Like, I don't know, man. I haven't finished it to really say if it's worth it or not. Dragging ass finishing this one a little bit. The last one is, I think this one probably, in my mind, it's going to be a particularly springy sort of read. This is Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies. Okay, I always try fairy books because I want one that I like, and yet I have not yet found one that I haven't cringed at the entire fucking time. So, I mean, this has good reviews, but, like, I don't give a fuck about other people liking it or not liking it. I only care if I like it, and people like some cringy ass shit out there, so I don't know, you know? If I get to this, I get to it. If I don't, then I'm not gonna fucking stress over it. Okay, so that was it for books. Alright, decks. So, the first deck that I wanted to talk about is the Tarot of Tales. So this one is new. It came out some point in March. It's got the little guidebook with it in, like, a bigger box. I'm not fucking with the guidebook right now. So, this is a very, fairy tale-esque sort of deck. And the light, flowy kind of colors just feel like they're gonna be good for this, this month, probably. I will admit I'm a little bit disappointed in this deck because I thought that the Tarot of Tales was going to have, like, maybe little fairy tale, folk tale sort of short stories maybe in the guidebook. But it doesn't. It's just like, it doesn't explain really what's going on in the art, and I was hoping that it would be little stories, little tales attached to the cards in the Tarot of Tales. It's not, though, so, yeah. I still am absolutely in love with this artwork. Look at this gentleman. The cards don't always, really align with the way that I normally, read the tarot, even in the guidebook, even though it's not, like, actually Tales for the Tarot of Tales. Some of the cards just have very different meanings, than how I would normally approach that card. So, I think it'll be interesting. This happens to be, like, fairy tale-y without being, like, babyish or something? I don't know. I don't like kitschy little decks, like cutesy. Like, that's kind of cute, but also it's like old fairy tale cute. Does that make sense? So, I like how this deck looks. I'm not completely sure about function for it. The Hangman is a bat. Upright. Also, I do want to say that I know people like to bitch about, using a bat as the hanged man. They're like, oh, it's just the easy way out. No, I love it every single time. Every single time there's a hanged man that's a bat, it, like, adds a year to my life. So we got dragons. We have fine young men with houses. I just like it. It's fun. It's... I don't know. The meanings sort of seem to skew positive. From what I've seen in the guidebook, I haven't really gotten a chance to work with this very much yet. Look at that button go. But that's something that I plan on happening in the month of April. What did I just do with that? Oh. Also, I have in here a brand new deck that just showed up to me. If I can fucking get it out and not the guidebook. This is the Midnight Magic Tarot, and it is a mushroom deck. I feel like this is going to be a fantastic, like, new moon reading sort of deck. Sorry, it's, like, maybe kind of in order here because I just did a walkthrough of this deck, so... Super cool. I love the fucking artwork. I'm excited to learn about mushrooms. The guidebook has information about, like, each species of mushroom and why it was chosen for each of the cards. So I'm into it. Where I live, it's just, I live in, like, a super deserty part of southern Colorado in the US. There's literally, like, saguaro cactus is growing around the area. So we don't get very much mushrooms, if at all, in the area where I live. So these aren't really things that I'm going to be running into, but that's okay. Oh, shit. Fuck's sake. So this was Midnight Magic that I will also be working with this month. Also, I've kind of been feeling animals lately. So this is the Untamed Spirit Animal Oracle. Black and, like, a parchment-y sort of cream, rather than black and, like, stark-ass white. It's got the animal, it's got, keywords, which is something I always look for on, like, animal or plant decks, especially if they're oracles, because I'm not gonna remember all of that shit, man. Like, that's just... Sorry, I'm doing my... every video, rearrange, like I always have to, because my fucking legs are falling asleep. So, I don't know. I'm just... Every once in a while, I get, like, in the mood to pull out an animal deck. And I'm really glad that I have this one now, because I feel like I had decks that were sort of animal-y before. But they never struck me quite the way this one does. I tried to pull out the Brady Tarot. If you know that deck, you know that deck. And it just, for me, it doesn't like when I pull it out when it's not warm. So I guess some of the warmer days I can pull this out, but it was really just not feeling it when I pulled it out the other day on a sunnier day, so we'll go with this. That's fine. guy out of here. Also this month I am pulling out Seasons of the Witch. What is this? Beltane, Beltane, or some bullshit oracle. I don't know. I don't celebrate it, like, calling it that. It's just mid-spring to me, or, like, you know, the 1st of May. So, I have seen that there's 2 more decks up for pre-order, on Amazon, that are part of this Seasons of the Witch, I don't know, series? Oh god, what are they? It's not the summer solstice. But it's 2 that are not out yet. I don't know. That was helpful. But, I do plan on getting all of these. I do think this is my least favorite. I have the Samhain and the Yule ones. But it's not anything to do with, like, the deck being less. It's just that I like spring less than I like darker kind of just imagery. The Samhain one's my favorite, so I'm sure you knew that. I don't know. It's just getting kind of springy here. Occasionally there's a day that's not fucking freezing. So where I live still gets snow sometimes in May, so I just gotta pull out the spring decks and start using them at some point, because if there's ever anything that's even slightly springy where I live, it's like 2 days. So I just pull them out and get started. So yeah, I did that. We'll put this guy away. Also another deck I may have mentioned previously. This is the Wild and Sacred Feminine deck. From what I have read, I believe this is like a re-release of like a Mother... Ah, shit. The Mother's Wisdom Oracle or something like that. I don't know if the cards have been changed from that. That deck is like out of print. So I don't know if this is different. I colored the edges. I need to do another coat. That's why it's looking like that. But it felt kind of springy to me too. Here we've got Tree of Life Connection. There's the Lioness and Courage. I like this art style. I have a hard time sometimes with these decks that are about like divine feminine shit. A lot of them, I think I cringe too easily at shit, maybe. I have a hard time with a lot of it. I fucking love this card. I think it's one of my favorites. So some things I just get, and they're so corny, I just can't fucking deal with it, but this one, I feel like some of these I like way more than others. Look at this one go. Ocean Source. That artwork's fucking beautiful. The Crone. I mean, she's got a little bit of wrinkles there. I need more old people in decks. I think I've mentioned that recently. So there's actual goddesses. There's, like, animals. There's, like, I don't know, natural features of the land. It's broken down into, like, I don't know, not really, maybe suits in the guidebook. I pretty much just ignore that because that's how I am. So, again, this kind of struck me as springy sort of thing, you know, things coming back to life. It's like colorful, but in a muted kind of way. Like, even look at the rainbow. You know, I love that, so. I will also be working with this deck this month. Put her away. And then I did want to mention one last thing is I am following along with... My God, my legs keep falling asleep and I can't handle it. I'm following along with the Deck and Walk that's being led by Marlena Teresa. I'll put her original video about that down in the description box. This out of here. This is a big ass journal that I got for it. It's humongous, but like everything else had like fucking Ray Dunn-esque words on it when I went to the store. So it's like fucking massive. I love these, like, pages like this. So the Decan Walk is basically just each of the decans within, like, the astrological fucking wheel here. In about 10-day increments, it changes cards. So it skips aces, court cards, and majors. So, like, the one that I've been in right now is Two of Wands, and Mars and Aries. So, like, right now I have... well, I'll just get it out. I've chosen to, at this point, use the Tarot of the Vampires with this. Mostly because it's sort of based around this. There's astrological symbols within this deck. And each of the cards... So it's the deck I think that's the most well-suited to this. So, yeah, I've got the Two of Wands, which is the one that's Aries 1 right now. I've also got some associated cards, which are the Tower and the Emperor. They're pulled out of the deck right now because those are the ones for this moment. And then I've got my bullshit about it. Marlon and Teresa had posted a spread. So I did that. I mean, I figure I'll just go through each one. I'm kind of hoping that if she doesn't do a spread for each of the decans, and I can find something that will work for them, because I really liked kind of exploring it in that way. For me personally, I don't really know anything about astrology, like very, very, very vague shit. So I'm sort of approaching this more as learning about the associations with the symbols of the zodiac through the tarot, rather than making associations the other way. So that's how I'm doing it. If you're doing the Decan Walk, let me know. If you're making videos about it, I'd like to watch them, because I don't really know shit about shit when it comes to this. So I'm just like wandering around out here like with a fucking deck of cards and a big ass journal. So alright, so that was my April shit. Thanks for watching, bye.